Hello, I'm Judith Price. As Miss Lit Town, I've had the unique and wonderful opportunity to meet with Department 56 collectors all around the country. In my travels and conversations, the subject you all seem most interested in is display. Many of you have shared your tips and hints with me, and now in this video, we'd like to share some of our display ideas with you. I think we've come up with plans and suggestions that should work for everyone, and that can be adapted to just about any space. You often tell me how your whole family is involved in displaying your villages, and I think this is one of the nicest aspects of collecting, the building not just of a beautiful display, but of a beautiful tradition. We hope you find this video useful and inspiring, beginners and seasoned collectors alike.
There are many things to consider when planning a Christmas village display, such as the size of your village or the complexity of the presentation. You must have an overall master plan in mind, and the first decision you need to make is where you want to set up your village. We're going to set up one of our favorite villages under a tree. Our bay window will provide the perfect backdrop for the North Pole series. You may think your mantel is too small for a display like this. We'll show you how to make it work. We've chosen the dining room for the Dickens Village series. Our largest collection is displayed both on the buffet and the dining room table as a centerpiece. But how, you may ask, can I make my village look like this? You can, and relatively easily. For a look at how we do it, we need to go back to the beginning, to the workshop, where construction of our village display begins. We've asked one of our key display designers, Tom Underwood, to demonstrate the creative techniques used to build each of our displays. Many parts are best constructed beforehand in a workshop area where you're able to freely cut, spray, paint, and glue. Our manual outlines and illustrates each technique, as well as all the tools we use, so feel free to refer to this at any time. Keep in mind that while we have chosen to position certain mountains or roads within a particular village, these techniques and ideas are all interchangeable. Let's start in our bay window with the North Pole series. All of our setups follow a basic placement sequence. We begin with a master plan, add mountains, elevations, and waterways. Then we light and place the houses, followed by any other electrical components such as street lamps. Roadways, bridges, walls, or fences would come next, and we finish with landscaping, accessories, and snow. It is essential to make a blueprint or layout of how you want to arrange your village. Study the buildings carefully. Some have detailed sides, porches, or doorways that you'll want to feature. Keep in mind these architectural personalities when deciding where to place each building. Make your paper pattern by tracing the outline of the base of the building and labeling them, considering also mountains, ponds, roadways, and large accessories. Once the pattern is complete, you can begin the actual placement of the mountains. We have chosen to make our North Pole mountains out of styrofoam, which is available in various sizes. It can be cut to size using several different methods. Here we use a wallboard saw, following the outlines made earlier. We add shape to the foam using a hot wire. This type of tool allows us to make smooth sculptural edges. There's always the danger of burns with any electrically heated device. Make sure you use it in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. These mountains use 2 layers of foam which are hot glued together. Notice that we have cut holes in the base of the mountains to allow for the cords to be pulled through to the outlet and back. Now we are ready to place the pond. We have chosen a plain mirror and sprayed it with crystal frost, which creates an icy effect. Our base and elevations are also made of styrofoam. The elevations are cut to shape and then shaved and smoothed with a wire brush. The elevations form an edge around the pond and are therefore placed after the pond has been set. Next, place the lights. We have used the individual UL-approved switch cord and bulb that come with each of the 12 houses in our North Pole display. Insert the light bulb assembly into the opening in the back of each building and position the houses according to your plan. Now the rest of the electrical accessories are placed. Our street lamps and other accessories can be held in place by using tacky wax. This putty-like substance allows you to bond pieces together without it being permanent. Tacks can be hot glued to the bottom of the street lamps to anchor them even more securely. The wires are pinned down with S-type floral greening pins. They can also be hidden by cutting a small trench in the foam and either pinning or taping them down. Santa and his reindeer, some of our village bright lights, look wonderful atop these mountains. Cut out a niche in the back of the foam mountain for the bright lights adapters. The wires go over the top of the mountains. Now, roadways, bridges, and fences. Department 56 makes two types of roadways that are available in pre-cut lengths of 36 inches, a cobblestone and a brick road pattern. Here, the brick pattern is cut in the workshop and placed under the front of several of the buildings. We use miniature slate pieces to construct a winding path and stairway through the village. Tom has created a unique footbridge for the elves to use in the North Pole. Taking a length of our snow fence, he snips off the tips of each slat and hot glues it to a base of twigs. He then adds railings using more twigs of various thicknesses and lengths. A piece of acrylic icicle is added as a wintry effect. Our icicles come in lengths of 18 inches and can be cut to any size. The bridge leads to a peppermint landing. Real pieces of peppermint candy are sprayed with an acrylic sealer to prevent sugar and food dyes from affecting other parts of our display. We also use them to form a peppermint wall on top of which we place candy cane fences. These are created by taking small acrylic candy canes and hot gluing them in a crisscross fashion, and then gluing them on a base. We have made hitching posts from acrylic candy canes by cutting off the curved tops and then hot gluing small wooden balls which have been painted red. These same candy canes are used to create a fountain. We've created an icy waterfall of iridescent stones by attaching them to the foam with hot glue and arranging them to look like a cascade. Now we're ready to add some landscaping. First, the pole pine trees, both the single and the set of 5, are scattered throughout the display. Some of the pole pines are used without their bases and placed directly into the foam. Next, we add the sisal trees. These sisal trees can be separated from their bases and the wire trunk placed directly into the foam. These come in a variety of sizes, from 2 inches to 22 inches. We've sprayed birch branches white and added several to our display. This mixture of trees adds a sense of realism to the display. Now we are ready to add the accessories, placing the larger pieces first. Finally, we add the snow. There are many ways to achieve the different looks and textures of snow. Real plastic snow, salt, baking soda, glitter, and a blanket of new fallen snow. For North Pole, we have chosen canning pickling salt because it glistens and complements the sparkling foam. Sprinkling the salt throughout the display hides the wires and road edges and makes the mountains look magical. Be careful not to place salt directly on fine wooden surfaces. Sweep excess snow from roadways and ponds with a small artist's brush. A touch of earth-colored landscape material in front of the reindeer barn adds an excellent effect. Finally, a dash of iridescent glitter sprinkled throughout the display makes the North Pole truly sparkle. We've selected our living room mantel for the Christmas in the City display. To increase our display space, we have extended our 12-inch mantel another 4 inches by adding a 16-inch shelf. We have pulled the shelf forward 1 inch away from the wall to allow space to drop the cords. Attach the shelf at either end with C-clamps. Since we will not be using any mountains in this setting, we begin with our base. We cover most of the shelf with full-length strips of our brick road, which are hot glued directly to the surface. We are displaying 12 houses, and in this setup use 2 of our 6-socket light sets. These light cords attach to an extension cord, which will run down the side of the mantel. In addition, we will use 1 individual light set for the town tree. This tree comes with accessories which will be added later. Next, we place our double street lamps, again using tacky wax to hold them down and white adhesive tape to cover and hold the wires. In this section, we have cut a small slit in the road to hide the wires. Tom has created a special wall using our brick road. Cut 2 1-inch by 12-inch pieces of foam core and then hot glue them together. Pieces of brick road are cut 3 bricks high and the same length as the foam core. Next, the brick road is hot glued into place to complete the wall. Using an X-Acto knife, the brick road sections are scored at 2